Hey guys, before I start the video, I want to thank you for watching and I hope you enjoy. Before we really begin this tutorial, first thing I want to say is the handstand is a skill that takes so much practice and trial and error. So the first thing you're going to want to do is practice at least a half hour every single day, or it's going to take you forever and you'll get really frustrated. Walking to the gym right now because it's a little chilly outside. Another tip I have for you is don't expect linear improvement. One day you'll be practicing, maybe after a month or so, and things will finally click. And instead of going from 3-second holds, you'll go to a 10-second hold. First step in learning a handstand is just getting comfortable being inverted. So the first thing I have people do is just back to the wall, kick up to a handstand, and just hold it until you're comfortable. You want to work up to 60-second holds, so when you're doing it freestanding, you have the endurance and strength to hold it at all. Once you're comfortable going back to the wall in a handstand, now you're going to go stomach facing the wall. This is going to force you to get out of that banana handstand shape, and it will force you into a hollow body position where you posteriorly pelvic tilt your hips and you open your shoulders more. And again, you're going to want to get to 60 seconds in that stomach facing the wall position. Pro tip, if you want to get better at handstands, you need to work on your strength. So work on handstand push-ups, or even dips. So now that you can hold a handstand stomach facing the wall with good form for around 60 seconds, now you're going to want to start pulling your feet off of the wall and trying to balance for maybe a second or two, and then falling back to the wall, and then take one foot off, let the other foot follow, feel balance in the handstand for maybe 2 seconds, and then go back to the wall. And you want to be able to do that for, again, around 60 seconds. So now is where the fun begins. Now you're at the point where you're starting to figure out what it feels like to balance in a handstand, and you're finding yourself probably underbalancing or falling backwards. This is usually because of a common mistake I see people make, which is having the balance point on the palms of their hands instead of in the fingertips. you want to physically grip the ground. You want to feel weight pushing through your fingers. Now is when wrist strength plays a very important role. So you want to be able to do wrist push-ups and you want to be able to do knuckle ups. An important thing I'd like to point out is that you're never 100% still in a handstand. You're always correcting, you're always rebalancing yourself. So if you're underbalancing or falling backwards, you push with your palms. And then if you're going over the top or you're overbalancing, you push with your fingers. And it's a constant seesaw. So now hopefully you've gotten to the point where your stomach facing the wall and you pull your feet out and you balance the handstand for, let's say your best has been 20 seconds. And now you're starting to play around with it freestanding. You kick up into a handstand, maybe 5% of your tries, you hold the handstand for 3 seconds. This is really good. The hardest part is now over. So now it is just more trial and error as you have been used to. So at this point, hopefully you've been staying true to your 60-second goals on the wall, because now that you've figured out how to balance, it requires a lot more strength and endurance when you're freestanding, constantly having to correct yourself from overbalancing or underbalancing. Notice in the next video how I am in a banana-shaped handstand. I am in anterior pelvic tilt and my shoulders are closed. And then notice how I open my shoulders and I put my hips into posterior pelvic tilt. Why is this important, you ask? It's really not. It just depends on your goals. If your goal is to eventually be able to do a one-arm handstand, you're going to need a straight handstand with fully opened or flexed shoulders. Looking over my footage, and I just wanted to make it extra clear that to have your arms fully flexed overhead or arms covering your ears in a handstand, you're going to have to be in posterior pelvic tilt. So just think, flatten your lower back and suck your lower stomach in. And that's also called the gymnastics hollow body position. It's also super important to warm up your wrists, especially when they're not used to being in a handstand. So here's my wrist warm up. Thanks for watching our tutorial. We got more on the way, so stay tuned.